down. Sit down. No, sit down. Sit down. Sit down. I'm going to talk to you about fishing loops. And I'm not talking about some kind of rigging. What I'm talking about is the route that I take. Now, this is something I do in the summertime. I don't do it every trip, and I do it to explore the coastline. So I need like 25, 30 miles, I think, for me to really consider it a loop and to be useful for my purposes. It's typical, there are many 30-mile loops that I make, but most of them are 50-mile, or even like this 90-mile loop out of LaFrance, Mississippi, out to the Biloxi Marsh and back. I like to make the loop cover some coastline, so not just out or not just through the marsh, but to actually cover some east-west distance through the marsh. I'm typically looking for different habitats that I can go through, or a larger geographical area that I'm going to cover. So I really like this loop out of Hopedale. It's about a 50-mile loop, and it lets me fish inner marsh, and I can fish the rock jetties, I can fish rigs, I can fish like Deadman's Island, which is kind of an isolated island in the Sound, other marsh islands and points, lakes that have oyster beds in them. I can cover all of that habitat in a sampling sort of way to gather information about what's going on, not just with where the fish are, but what's changing in the habitats, what kind of erosion is going on since last season. So my objective here is to sample fish. Yeah, I'm definitely fishing. These are fishing trips, but I'm sampling. So I'm not hunkering down in some spot for a couple of hours and trying to fill the box with fish. I'm just out there sampling, I'm exploring, I'm discovering new areas, but I'm also looking at existing ones or ones that I fished before to see how they're doing now. Here's another 50-mile trip around the Delacroix area, and this lets me hit a lot of the well-known spots, Little Lake, Lake Patola, Point Fiend, Oak River, and then go over to the east side so I can look at Lake Campo and Round Lake and Four Horse and Lake John, all of those areas. But again, this is giving me a look at a wide geographical area and some well-known spots, but I'm also going to be trying whatever spots look good on that particular day, because I'm trying to find new spots as well as seeing what's going on with existing spots. So just for fun, I'll take you along on a 30-mile loop we did in kind of the Lake Borgne, Wrigley's area, just to show you some of what I experienced. It's not a great trip, but I'm out there. I'm looking to see what's going on in the habitat. We do find fish at one point, trout, but we don't stick around there. We keep moving because I want to see what's going on in the other areas, like over in the Mr. Go. So come along and see what happened. So like I said, we're going to stop at potential spots along the way, and we're going to check them out, see what's going on. Those first couple spots did not produce anything, so we kept going. Ended up out on the rigs. And we bounced around, tried a couple different baits, but nothing going on the first rigs. Oh, not hung. Not hung.
Yeah, you hung all right. That's probably a bull.
I thought I hung, but no. Wow. This is a big fish. Caught this one on the bottom. I totally thought it was a snag. It did not move at first at all. Definitely a jack, a big one, maybe like the 20-30 pounder. The last week we caught an 8-inch long jack. This is going to be a 28-inch jack. This is likely the very first jack caught on a Chalmette rig. Whew. Wow, that was terrible. Yet again, never got a big jack in. Never. Yeah, so we headed back to the marsh at Alligator Point. First trout, about 10 inches long. The current is extremely strong this morning. So the small bayous are way too fast to fish. Shorelines of Lake Bourne are fine to fish. Water clarity is nice. Weather's supposed to be nice. The wind's picked up a little bit. Back to sampling. We work our way along the peninsula. There we go, there we go. That's a decent trout. Oh yeah, very nice. So we're seeing a lot of bait in this spot. And a little calmer water off of Alligator Point.
Is that John Miller?
Yes!
Hey man, I watch you all the time, man.
Okay.
YouTube. I was like, the guy with the funnel's familiar. Hey.
Yeah, it's David.
How you doing?
Well, no, I'm in the right spot there.
Okay, good luck. So we're just finding ladyfish. Oh, gosh.
They were wild, aren't they? Like monkeys.
That's a trout. That is a trout. Yes. There we go. Another one. Beautiful. Good. Another
That one is about
14 and a half. So there are a few trout among the ladyfish. Still trying to get this jerkbait to work. Because I'm seeing minnows jump.
Yeah.
Another trout. Yeah, well.
Get one in there, trout. I actually have a clear bait, John.
Oh, now you switch to a clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to clear with a little sharp.
Okay, oh, that's the egret bait. So I'm going to try to fish this thing a little bit quieter, the Four Horsemen. Because it's really a loud cork. And you're getting responses with trout, I'm not. So kind of makes you wonder, man, a nice fish. You wonder if this cork is too loud. Another one. Now, I don't know, man. I haven't gotten it. Oh. Look at that. Trout after trout on your H&H cork, and I have yet to catch a trout. It's anywhere. It's a keeper. All right, here's a test. H&H cork, just like you have, versus the Four Horsemen. 1/8 ounce lead head with matrix shad lemon head.
Oh, look at this. There's Mark. I love seeing that. Look at the glass. Oh, kind of. Was that shrimp too, John?
I did the experiment with the H&H cork versus Four Horsemen cork. No conclusion there. David didn't catch any during that drift with his H&H cork either, so inconclusive. I haven't been to the northern part of the Mr. Go for months, so I'm really anxious to see what's going on there and see if any trout are showing up.
Oh, that's not little.
Oh, croaker. And we drop inside the Mr. Go itself. I got a fish.
All right. Tugging good.
This is a white trout. I was hoping to fish along the grass line, which is often along the rocks in the Mr. Go, but there is no grass there right now, and this is mid-August. I guess the higher salinity water must have killed the grass.
Look at that. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That is either a rat red or a decent trout.
Or bass.
Yeah. Oh, it's fighting hard.
Fighting hard, huh?
I think it's a trout, John. Yeah. What do you see? Oh, look at this trout, John.
Redfish.
Oh, why can't we call it a trout? It looks like a decent keeper.
Yeah.
The drill time.
Yeah, that's a nice red there. Oh, almost 20 inches. 20 incher. So we continued our trip down the Mr. Go and then through the marsh out Bayou Bienvenue. We popped here and there looking for fish. Didn't find any bass. I think this higher salinity waters really pushed them further north. We also didn't find any trout, just a bunch of ladyfish. So we continued to hit probable spots, but really didn't find anything up in that area, at least on this particular day. And this was probably by noon. But anyway, I'm excited about the coming fall, and I hope you can get out and fish. I think that Hurricane or Tropical Storm Gordon is going to help the fishing around the Bourne and Pontchartrain basins, and so looking forward to what's going on there. So hope you can get out and fish.